نصلي على رسول الكريم وما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So we're going to carry on where we left off yesterday on Path of Muḥammad by Imam Birgawi, and we had just introduced the sort of deviant sects within Sufism and what they used to get up to, and how they had decided that they weren't dependent upon the Quran or the Hadith, but rather that they would rely on dreams, and how they came to an understanding through that, through their own interpretations and relying on spiritual states to come to these conclusions. So he's now going to carry on that discussion from there. So we picked the discussion at that point. وَإِنَّا لو كنا على الباطل لما حصل لنا تلك الحالات السنية والكرامات العلية من مشاهدة الأنوار ورؤية الأنبياء الكبار. And we, so this is carrying on from the position of those individuals who don't practice the Sharia, claim that they have another way of understanding it. We, if we were on falsehood, then how would we achieve these Sunniya states? And also, how would we be able to perform these great miracles where we are able to witness lights, bright lights, and also see the great Anbiya? وَإِنَّا إِذَا صَدْرَ مِنَّا مَكْرُوهٌ أَوْ حَرَامٌ نَبِّحْنَا فِي النَّوْمِ بِرُؤْيَةٍ. And similarly, if the acts that we were committing were disliked or haram, then we would have been prohibited in our sleep through a dream. فَنَعْرِفُ بِهَا الْحَلَالَ وَالْحَرَامَ, because that's the way we determine and understand halal and haram. وَأَنَّ مَا فَعَلْنَا مِمَّا قُلْتُمْ إِنَّهُ حَرَامٌ لَمْ نَنِحْ أَنْهُ فِي الْمَنَامِ فَعَلِمْنَا أَنَّهُ حَلَالٌ. And that, أَنَّ مَا فَعَلْنَا, what we do from that which you claim is haram, we are not prohibited from during our sleep, therefore we understand it to be halal. وَنَحْوَ ذَلِكَ مِنَ الطُّرُحَاتِ كُلُّهُ إِلْحَادٌ وَضِلَالٌ. And similar discussions they make like this, which are hoaxes, all of them, and atheistic beliefs and deviations. إِذْ فِيهِ إِزْدِرَاءٌ لِلشَّرِيعَةِ, because in there there's a contempt for the Sharia, al-Hanifiyya, the upright Sharia, wal-Kitab was-Sunnah Nabawiyya, and the book and the prophetic Sunnah, وَعَدْمِ الْإِعْتِمَادِ عَلَيْهِمَا, and a lack of dependence or reliance upon it, وَتَجْوِيزُ الْخَطْءِ وَالْبُطْلَانِ فِيهِمَا, and the permitting or the allowing of making error and falsehood in them, yani in the Quran and in the Sunnah. Thank you for that. Reason being is it's hanging all the way over here. Jazakumullah khair for that. Okay, not sure how much of that you actually heard. My apologies. So let me just go back a little bit because some kind soul has informed me that the volume was low, and the reason why the volume was low because I disconnected my mic and put it somewhere else. So what we were saying is that from the discussion that we've had so far about these various Sufi sects which are making claims that their practices are divinely guided, but they are not through the Sharia, just barakallahu fik, they are not through the Sharia, but they are actually through dreams and inspirations that they're receiving. So this is the claim they make. This is the claim those sects make. They say, وَإِنَّا لَوْ كُنَّا عَلَى الْبَاطِلِ لَمَّا حُصِلَنَا تِلْكَ الْحَالَاتِ السُّنِّيَّةِ. That if, as you claim, we are on falsehood, then how is it that we achieve these prophetic states? وَالْكَرَامَاتُ الْعُلِيَّةِ, and how do we achieve these incredible miracles? For example, min mashahadatil anwar, that we see these lights, and وَرُؤْيَةِ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ الْكِبَارِ, and we see great Anbiya. وَإِنَّا إِذَا صَدْرَ مِنَّا مَكْرُوهٌ, because when we perform something which is makruh, disliked, or haram, or we commit something which is haram, nabihna fi nawmi bi ru'ya, then we are prohibited from those in our sleep through a dream. فَنَعْرِفُ بِالْحَلَالِ وَالْحَرَامِ, and it is through that mechanism that we understand halal and haram. وَأَنَّ مَا فَعَلْنَا مِمَّا قُلْتُمْ إِنُّهُ حَرَامٌ لَمْ نَنِهْ عَنْهُ, and as for that which we do, which you claim is haram, then we haven't been prohibited from that in our sleep. فَعَلِمْنَا أَنُّهُ حَلَالٌ, so therefore we deduce that that must be halal. وَنَحْوَ ذَلِكَ, and things like this, they make statements like this, مِنَ التَّهْرُهَاتِ, from hoaxes, كُلُّهُ إِلْحَادٌ وَضَلَالٌ, all of them are ilhad, yani atheistic, and they are deviations. Why? إِذْ فِيهِ إِزْدِرَاءٌ لِلشَّرِيَّةِ الْحَنِيفِيَّةِ وَالْكِتَابِ وَالسُّنَّةِ النَّبَوِيَّةِ, because in them there is a contempt towards the Sharia, the Hanafiya, the upright Sharia, and the book, and the prophetic Sunnah. وَعَدْمِ الْإِئْتِمَادِ عَلَيْهِمَا, and it also shows a lack of dependence upon the Quran and the Sunnah. وَتَجْوِيزُ الْخَطِّ وَالْبُطْلَانِ فِيهِمَا, and assuming and sort of without a full declaration, basing an assumption on the fact that there is error, na'udhu billah min zalik, and falsehood in them, yani in the Quran and Sunnah. وَلِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ تَعَالَى. فالواجب على كل من يسمع مثل هذه الأقاويل الباطلة والإنكار is that, and so it is binding, it is necessary upon every single person who hears something like these void, flawed statements, is al-inkaru ala qailihi, is to reject the speaker. وَالْجَزْمُ بِبُطْلَانِهِمْ, and be absolutely certain in calling out, so to speak, the butlan, the void, the unacceptance of his statement. Bila shak, there should be no doubt. Wala taraddud, and there should be no kind of umming and eyeing. Wala tawakkuf, neither should he say, I won't pass judgment. Wala talabbath, and nor should there be any hesitation. It should be called out as is there and then. Otherwise, because there's consequences. Otherwise, wa illa, otherwise, fahuwa min jumlatihim فيحكم بالزندقة عليهم وقد صرح العلماء بأن الإلهام ليس من أسباب المعرفة بالأحكام. Then otherwise it will be the case where he will be from them, he will be considered to be of them. فيحكم, so he will be judged, or يحكم, he will be judged بالزندقة, as an atheist, or there will be a judgment of atheism against them. وقد صرح, and the ulama all have been explicit and have explained in detail بأن الإلهام ليس من أسباب المعرفة, that ilham, receiving sort of how do I word this, sort of divine guidance, or receiving some kind of let's just use another word, divine inspiration. Okay, receiving divine inspiration is not from the asbab of ma'rifah bil ahkam, is not through the means by which we understand rulings. Don't get me wrong, we can be inspired by Allah to take up a task, to be motivated, to work hard, to go in a certain direction. We can get that. Pious people receive that. But we can't establish ahkam on them, because they are not a means for ahkam. وَكَذَلِكَ رُؤْيَا فِي الْمَنَامِ, and this is also the case for dreams while sleeping, خُصُوصًا إِذَا خَالَفَ, especially when they go against Kitab al-Alim al-Allam, when they go against the knowledgeable, all-knowing book, or Sunnati Muhammadin alayhi salatu wasalam, or they go against the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. وقد قال سيد طائفة الصوفية وإمام أرباب الطريقة والحقيقة Junaid Baghdadi alayhi rahma al-Hadi, and it has been said by the leader of the Sufi group and the Imam of the Arbab, of the leaders of the Tariqa and Haqiqa, Junaid al-Baghdadi, upon him be mercy, الطرق كلها مسدودة, all turuq, all methodologies which are used as spiritual paths, all those are masdudatun, are closed off, or there's no end goal. Illa ala man iqtafa athra Rasulillahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, except that tariqah which follows the footsteps or follows the what the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left behind. وقال, and he said, من لم يحفظ القرآن ولم يكتب الحديث لا يقتدى به أو لا يقتدى به في هذا الأمر لأن علمنا ومذهبنا هذا مقيد بالكتاب والسنة. He also said that that person who doesn't memorize the Quran and he does not engage in the writing of hadith, then he will not be followed in this matter. Why? Because our knowledge and our madhab, our way, our procedure is qualified by the book and the sunnah. وقال السوري السقطي التصوف اسم لثلاثة معان. He quotes السوري السقطي saying that tasawwuf is a name for three meanings. وهو الذي لا يدفئ نور معرفتي نور ورئه, and it is not that which puts out the light of his recognition, the light of wara. Okay, the light of wara. ولا يتكلم بباطن في علم, and neither will he speak of the batin, the inner knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, في علم ينقضه عليه, which would bring about annulling the book. ولا تحمله الكرامات على حدك محارم الله, and neither will he conduct miracles which would bring a disgrace to the limits which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set. So what we're getting here over the last sort of half a dozen or dozen lines or so is, first of all, the claims that these sects make are void. Secondly, the leader of tasawwuf is describing it as something which is completely different to what these other groups are, in the sense that this is something which is going to not say something which would go against the Sharia. So the key point that is being made throughout this is that the book and the sunnah is absolute. So if one sees something, whether it's a belief system that the person must have, or whether it's certain practices which the person must have, and both of these go against the Quran and the sunnah, then that clearly shows that this is problematic. Especially if the person determines halal and haram. So if someone says, oh, wait a minute, why are we making sajda to the shaykh? Or wait a minute, why are we doing X, Y, Z? You know, why are we behaving in this way? There's nothing within the Quran and the sunnah for this. And if they say, well, you know, this is a secret knowledge which is handed from person to person, or this is something that I'm inspired to do because I had a dream at night, and this is what I... Once we start talking like that, then really this is very seriously problematic. Why? Because it's going against the Quran and Sunnah, and it's suggesting that there is other real knowledge which is determining halal and haram, which is other than the Quran and the Sunnah. And there can never be other than the Quran and Sunnah. There is Quran and Sunnah. Anything else is void. And that's why he makes that point with quoting as-Surri as-Saqati. وقال أبو يزيد البسطامي رحمه الله تعالى لبعض أصحابه. So we find that Abu Yazid al-Bustami, may Allah have mercy upon him, mentions to some of his colleagues, قم بنا حتى ننظر إلى هذا الرجل الذي قد شهر نفسه بالولاية. That stand, let's go see this man, okay, who has become famous, or he's made himself famous by claiming to be a wali, by claiming wilaya. وَكَانَ رَجُلًا مَقْصُودًا مَشْهُورًا بِالزُّهْدِ فَمَضَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ. And this was a man who would now become famous for zuhd, yani practicing a type of Islam which meant that he would avoid extravagance, he would avoid public spheres, he would avoid sort of bigging himself up. He would stay out of the limelight, so to speak. He would practice zuhd, live on meager food, live on meager surroundings. So they went from فَمَضَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ فَلَمَّا خَرَجَ مِنْ بَيْتِهِ. So we saw him leaving his house. وَدَخَلَ الْمَسْجِدَ. And he went to the masjid. رَمَى بِبُزَاقَهُ تَجَاهُ الْقِبْلَةِ. We saw him throw his phlegm towards the direction of the Qibla. فَانْصَرَفَ أَبُو يَزِيد. So Abu Yazid turned immediately and started to leave the masjid. وَلَمْ يُسَلِّمْ عَلَيْهِ. He didn't even give him salam. وقال, and he said, هذا رجل غير مأمون على أدب من آداب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فكيف يكون مأمونا على ما يدعيه. This person cannot even safeguard. This person cannot even, going on to low power mode. Everything's collapsing today. Forgot to wire myself up. Battery's about to go on the phone. Subhanallah. Must be end of the week. So, and now I've lost my thought. Where am I? There we are. So if this person cannot safeguard the adab, etiquettes, from the etiquettes of the Prophet ﷺ, then how can he safeguard the claim he's making that he's a wali? So he looked at his practices there. وقال لو نظرتم إلى رجل وقد أعطى من الكرامات حتى تربأ في الهواء فلا تغتروا به حتى تنظروا كيف تجدونه عند الأمر والنهي وحفظ الحدود وأداء الشريعة. So if, again he says, وقال لو نظرتم, if you look at a man who has been given miracles, he can perform miracles to such an extent where he can hover in the air whilst he sat down. So not that he sat down, obviously how would he hover in the air if he was sat down, but you know what I mean. He in a seated position, he then hovers into the air, sat cross-legged. فَلَا تَغْتَرُّوا بِهِ. So don't be misled by this. Okay. حَتَّى تَنْظُرُوا كَيْفَ تَجِدُونَهُ إِنَّ الْأَمْرِ. Until you see his behavior when it comes to enjoining good and prohibiting from evil. وَحِفْظِ الْحُدُودِ. And safeguarding the limits which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set. وَأَدَاءِ الشَّرِيعَ. And fulfilling the sharia. وَقَالَ أَبُو سَلْمَانَ الدَّارِنِي ربما تقع في قلبي النقطة من نقطة القوم أياما فلا أقبل منه إلا بشاهدين عدلين من الكتاب والسنة. He says that Abu Salman al-Dharani says that many times it occurs in my heart a point from the points of the people or for days. فلا أقبل منه. So I don't accept it until two just witnesses come forward, meaning the book and the sunnah. From the book and from the sunnah. So we're going to get some more quotes and then obviously it will come to the end of this discussion, inshallah. And I'll see if I'm not sure what time on there. Let me just, so we've got a few minutes, so let me see if I can squeeze them in. وقال ذنون المصري رحمه الله تعالى ومن علامة المحبة لله تعالى متابعة حبيب الله محمد عليه الصلاة والسلام في أخلاقه وأفعاله وأمامره وسنته. That from the alamat, okay, from the signs of an accepted person is the love he has for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by following the beloved of Allah, yani Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in his akhlaq. So this is his behavior, his character, his personality. Wa af'al, his actions. Wa awamirihi, and the way he goes about, his injunctions, his orders. Wa sunnatihi, and his practice. Wa qala Bishr al-Hafi rahimullah says, Ra'aytu an-Nabiyya sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fil manam. I saw the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in my dream. Faqala li, and he said to me, Ya Bishr, هل تدري بما رفعك الله تعالى من بين أقارنك? Oh Bishop, do you know why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised your status amongst your colleagues? Why out of all your colleagues your status is where it is? قلت لا يا رسول الله. I responded in my dream that I don't know, O Messenger of Allah. قال, he said, باتباعك لسنتي وخدمتك للصالحين ونصيحتك لإخوانك ومحبتك لأصحابي وأهل بيتي وهو الذي بلغك منازل الأبرار. He responded sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the dream that it's because of your following of my sunnah, your service in front of for the pious people, your advice to your brothers, your love for my companions radiyallahu anhum, and for my family, and that it has because of that has been the means by which you have reached the rank and status of the abrar, yani the pious. وقال أبو سعيد الخراز كل باطن يخالفه ظاهر فهو باطل. He says every inner quality, every inner trait which goes against the apparent, then that is batil, is void. وقال محمد بن فضل ذهاب الإسلام من أربعة. Muhammad ibn Fadl says that Islam will go because of four things. لا يعملون بما يعلمون. That they يعملون. People will not act according to what they know. ويعملون بما لا يعلمون. And they will do what they do not know. Okay, so people will not act by what they know, but they will do what they don't know. ولا يتعلمون ما يعملون. And they will not learn that which they will do. وَالنَّاسُ مِنَ التَّعَلُّمْ يَمْنَعُونَ. And the people from studying and learning will be prevented. Okay, or will prevent. كل ما ذكر من كلام سيد الطائفة إلى هنا منقول من رسالة الكشيري. So everything that has been mentioned from the start that I started when I quoted Junaid al-Baghdadi rahimahullah ta'ala up till this point comes from a book which is called Risalatul Kushairi. So I think that, hold on, that's what I was going to stop. So we're going to get near Al-Fasl al-Thalith and then we'll stop. انظر أيها العاقل الطالب للحق إن هؤلاء عظماء مشايخ علماء الطريقة وكبراء أرباب السلوك إلى الله والحقيقة. That look, O knowledgeable, عاقل يعني sensible, sane, a good state of mind, talib of the truth. Inna ha'ulai, look, all these uzama, great mashayikh, the ulama of the tariqah, the kubra, the senior, arbab suluk, leaders of the suluk, the path, ilallahi wal haqiqa, wa kulluhum ya'adhimuna ash-sharia, all of them honor and give status to the sharia. وَيَبْنُونَ عَلُومَهُمْ الْبَاطِنَ عَلَى السِّيرَةِ الْأَحْمَدِيَّةِ. And they all establish their knowledges, their batina knowledges, their inner knowledges that they share upon the Siratil Ahmadiyya, upon the praiseworthy life, وَالْمِلَّةُ الْحَنِيفِيَّةِ, and the right religion, the straight religion. فَلَا يَغُرَّنَّكَ تَمَّاتِ الْجُهَلَاءِ المتنسكين وشطحهم الفاسدين المفسدين الضالين المضلين. So don't be deceived by the calamity of the ignorant, those who hold and roam amongst the fasideen and the mufsideen and the dhalin and the mudillin. بعد أن كانوا زائغين عن شرع القويم, after they go about trying to distort the ancient law. وَمَائِلِينَ عَنْ صِرَاطِ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ, and they incline away from the straight path. خَارِجِينَ عَنْ مَنَاهِجِ الْعُلَمَاءِ الشَّرِيَّةِ وَالْمَارِقِينَ, trying to get out from the ways of the Sharia ulama. فَالْوَيْلٌ كُلُّ الْوَيْلِ, so woe be unto them. All types of woe, yani woe be on them. Same as la'nat. Some say that whale is actually a valley in Jahannam. Some mufassirun say that. Lahum waliman tabi'ahum, and those who follow them. O hassana amrum, or consider their action to be good. For whom kita'u tariq, for they are actually stopping from the paths of Allah. Alal abidin, from the slaves following them. Yalbisun al-haq bil batil, they mix haq with batil. They mix haq with batil. وَيَكْتُمُونَ الْحَقَّ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ, and they hide the truth even though they know what they're doing. And these verses you'll remember and recognize both from Surah Al-Baqarah and also from other, particularly aimed at the Ahl Kitab, because the Ahl Kitab would do this, is they would mix. And unfortunately, I can personally mention numerous people and organizations which do very much that, and have their own kind of sheikhdoms and their own little sects in which this behavior carries on. Anyway, after a little bit of a stop-start, I got to the part where I wanted to get to. Inshallah, not tomorrow, rather, on Monday, we'll start with Al-Fasl al-Thalith fil iqtisad fil amal. Wa akhiru da'wana, and alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.